welcome to what feels like the most peaceful room in the entire house. Now, you know I love marble. It's not real marble. Again, we're at 240, 250 end value here, but the tiles behind me are 1,200 wide by 300 tall. So, you know, were they cheap? Not really, but they make a big difference and they look even closer to marble than other tiles. Everything is gloss, the floor, anti-slip as well, and the walls, because I wanted to create a kind of shiny effect, because I knew the walls were going to be pretty matte and we were going to have, you know, an L shape of wall that was matte white. So I wanted to create a bit of gloss and something that reflects light, because again, the window openings are fairly small, although it is really light in here. Spotlights, which had to be moved, by the way. The electrician put them in some silly place. I told him to move them so you can have a shower in the light. So you'll see in a second how nice and light the actual shower is. Now the floor is 600 by 600 marble effect. I was going to do 800, but it wouldn't line up with the walls because of 1,200, half is 600. So these tiles were tiled by my guy Mainty Craig. Thanks a lot for coming down from Wales to tile this. Came down multiple times to get this sorted, and it took a few days, but you know, let me talk you through the various elements. So here to my immediate right is a towel radiator. Now, it could have been chrome like most of them, but I paid extra and I had to wait even longer to get a white one because the fittings are brass, as you've seen in the background. We can't really clash metals. We do in a second, but we can't have a huge chrome thing here and have brass. It's white or it's chrome. For me, it can't be, you know, white or it's brass, it can't be chrome. And brass was like 400 quid / they don't really exist, which I find really weird at this price level. We've got the toilet, which is from Victorian Plum. Thanks for giving us a European fitting instead of an English one. This toilet is being sold in the UK, so we had to go and get a bleeding wire at 5 p.m. There is a little bit of boxing there. Now, that's there because the waste pipe runs out and around. And there was no way really of getting around it. You know, we had discussions for hours. Do we bring the wall out? But then the unit, you can't even get in the shower. And there was a lot. There was a lot to think about. And that's what goes into these things. You know, why do you want a box? You don't. However, I said to Mainty, you need to miter this. Now, if you've never seen a miter, it's when the tile is joint and it's cut at 45 degrees. So instead of having a trim, which is the easy, cheap way to do it, it's just cut and bonded like that. Same thing here. Same thing here. I love miters. I said to him, no bloody trims in this bathroom because it looks so much better, right? And it just gives it that little bit of finishing touch. So nice toilet, again with some boxing behind it because of the pipes, because of what was happening. Now, if we look at this basin cost 300 quid for a sink. Obviously this is extravagance. I fitted the gold handles myself, cost 2 quid each, because yeah, Victoria Plum didn't have gold handles. But as you can see, nice bit of storage in there. Soft close hinges as well, so it's posh, look at that. Really nice big, I like a big basin, right? Also, the brass / gold tap, and I matched this time the brass / gold waist, as well as the handles. Now, if we come around here, let's look in the shower. So, as you can see, there is some chrome here. This is going to be spray painted white because obviously it doesn't match. These are the fittings. Now, again, like I said, the cleaners were, you know, pretty poor. But these are brass gold fittings and they actually feel really nice. They've got a nice feel to them. They look good, and you know what, for me, they kind of ooze elegance and class, and that's kind of what I'm going for here. And I even matched the waists with it as well, and they cost a lot more extra than the normal ones, see? These two. So, you know, this stuff does cost a lot extra, but you know, when you take it all in with the tiles and with this, it looks, you know, it just looks classy, it looks regal, it looks like a very posh hotel in New York or something, you know? And that's the vibe I'm going for, is that, look, it should be modern, but it should have some old world elegance, because apparently this is 80s. And of course, again, with these nice big marble tiles, which as you can see, the cleaners haven't cleaned, so someone's getting their pay docked, you know, look really nice. So this is the bathroom. Now, how do we get cold water? And the cameraman just bumped into the glass there. It's that clean, eh? Couldn't have been the cleaners. Now, if we look in here, you know what? It's just a cupboard, but it has the unvented direct hot water cylinder and the thermostat. Like I said, everything is electric. The pipes are chased into the floor, into the kitchen and into the floor to get them across. And you know, you can put a shelf in here easily and you can have storage, obviously with access to the various parts. This is signed off by GasSafe. I believe it's a G3 regulation they need. You know, the cylinder costs 400-500 quid, fitting, you know, you tell me, a couple of days, I suppose, at a plumber's day rate. It can take a lot less, however. The electrician and the plumber have to communicate here. I know it's so difficult for these trades to talk to each other, but they have to communicate to wire in various bits. So just make sure that 2 supplies, depending on your cylinder, are created, because there are 2 supplies on some of these cylinders, and most of them, I think. And that is the cupboard. And this is the bathroom, which, as you can see, is a very big space.